Hello and everybody to the official release of Final Fantasy Draft. I'm paulcheon and today we are sitting at Plat 4 because I haven't really been playing and I've been waiting to climb with all of you here and oh my gosh. Yeah, this is my first video that I've made since the early access event. So it's been almost a week and I have been ready to get into some more Final Fantasy drafts. So let's hop in. But before I do, of course, we have a couple of sponsors. Now, before we head into this draft, just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of Final Fantasy, or you wanted some singles to round out your constructed decks, go to TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, everything you need to make sure you're ready for your next tabletop experience, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Also, they're going to have a heavy convention presence. They're going to be at MagicCon Las Vegas, so swing by the booth, tell them Paul sent you to get 10% off in person as well. Do you see this Teferi here? I was looking for a cloud backdrop. I couldn't buy one. I got to look into it, but they just didn't have. I was going to buy anything cloud related, which I almost never do. But here we are. Oh, somebody has the cloud background. Okay, I messed it up somehow. Anyways, let's hop straight in here. Zodiarch Umbral God, 5 black, a little too hard to cast. That's full stop. Genji Glove is actually really interesting. I actually think this card could be good. It's a lot of mana though. But Double Strike and an extra combat step I found to actually be pretty decent. Side quest Catch a Fish, 2 and a white. I just feel like it's a little bit too slow. And then let's look into our uncommons. Ooh, some uncommons that I really think are interesting. There's Torgal, a Fine Hound. 2 mana for a 2/2 wolf. It taps for any mana, and then whenever you cast your first human creature spell each turn, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each dog and or wolf you control. So basically, it's a 2 mana creature, but then like anytime you play a human, it gets an extra +1/+1 counter. So I think that's going to be the pick here for me. And I actually haven't drafted green yet, so I do want to try this out. Gladiolus Amicitia is also quite nice. It's a big creature, but it's red-green, whereas this is a single-colored card, and I also think this is, roughly on par power level-wise. At common, we have white Aura Sight, but yeah, let's start things out with the good doggo and see where we can go after first picking a Torgal. All right, moving on to pack 1, pick 2, what do we have? We have Lab Maniac, we don't care about. Graha Tia, I actually think is just okay. It's just, I don't know, it's just not that exciting. It doesn't have a good come into play effect. Maybe for a sacrifice deck, it can be okay. Let's take a look at Cactuar, 1 mana for a 3/3 Trampler. If you're really aggressive, this can be okay, but I just don't like the fact that this gets bounced back to your hand. So I don't think I'm going to be looking to play that card. We have a Town that cycles, which I think is just okay. And at common, it's a pretty weak pack with commons. We have Black Mage's Rod, which is actually a really good card in the black-red spells ping you out deck. But I think I'm just going to take Summon Fat Chocobo. I actually think this card is pretty decent, and I also want to try it out. If you do draft the kind of more of a green-based stompy deck, Summon Fat Chocobo to ramp into is not a bad thing at all. So, obviously this would be better if I end up in like a red-green deck, and boom! I mean, third pick Gladiolus. I know we passed one already, which might move the person that we passed into red-green, but hey, we're the ones being passed the Gladiolus. What else do we have? We have Thunder Magic, which I do think is a premium removal spell. It's certainly much better in blue-red, which gives you access to the 4 CMC Matters effect, whereas here, I mean, it's still a very good card, but I'm really interested in this card. 6 mana for 6/6. When it enters a battlefield, you put a land into the battlefield tapped, and then whenever you play a land, something gets +2/+2 and trample. Balamti Rexor is also a really good land cycler. Certainly a fine option at common, although I do think Thunder Magic is certainly much better. But I think this is just an instance where I just want to try the Signpost uncommon here, even though I can believe a world where the Thunder Magic is a better card, just because it's a cheaper, more efficient card. But let's take Gladiolus here and see if we can do some kind of Gruul Stompy deck. Now we see a Chocobo Kick, premium removal spell, first interactive spell here for us. Also really nice in red-green if you care about a lot of landfall effects, because you do have the ability to bounce a land to your hand, which then lets you trigger landfall effects like the Gladiolus. What else do we have? We have Reach the Horizons, which is fine. I mean, it gets you 2 lands, which is pretty cool, but I think this deck would much rather have Chocobo Kick. This is much better in, I think, like a blue-green ramp deck or a black-green mid-range deck. X-Death is also fine. 3 mana for a 3/3 ETB, gain 3 life. But I think I'm just going to take Chocobo Kick here. Green seems reasonably open here. Let's see how this goes. Although, wow, that is a late Garland, Knight of Cornelia. This is a really powerful Signpost uncommon at Rakdos. Black-red for a 3/2, Surveil 1. But obviously, we are too far away to be able to play that card. Ilmeg Pixie is also quite strong. 2 mana for a 2/1 flyer. When it attacks, you Surveil 1, which is also fine. So some good uncommons, not in our colors. But for us, I think I'm just going to take the Gaisal greens. It's just a nice 2-drop. It makes a Chocobo token. I'm just going to call these bird tokens Chocobo tokens. And then, if I'm looking to do a landfall thing, I think this is going to be good anyways. And it's a mana sink because it has flashback. So I've wanted to draft the red-green landfall Chocobo deck. Let's see if that's something that we can pull off here. Moving on to pack 1, pick 6, noting that I am not seeing a lot of red cards, so I might need to move away from this, and possibly move into white-green. We have both Zach Fair, 1 mana for 1/2, enters a battlefield with a +1/+1 counter, and you can save a creature. That's a really, really nice effect. And there's also White Aura Sight, which is a good removal spell that ramps you. Weapons Vendor is just okay, and Bard's Bow, I think, is just all right. I think Zach Fair can be really nice, and Green-White, I think, is looking to be a deck that's looking to go wide and be aggressive. It's a human as well with the Torgal. So given that I don't have a good red card and my green options are mediocre, it's between Zach and the White Aura Sight. And I'm going to take the cheaper card here in the Zach and just kind of see where things go. Because if I continue seeing white and green cards, then that's where I want to be. Moving on to pack 1, pick 7, the Emperor of Palamisia is a very good is-it payoff. But I think it's a little too far away from where we are right now. We have the choice between, I think, Magitech Armor, 4 mana for a 4/4 vehicle that makes a 1/1 token, which I do think is pretty solid, and Bard's Bow. This, I think I actually don't mind the Magitech's Armor. This reminds me a lot of the Broadcast Rambler, except it costs 4 mana. Now, I know you don't get a Thopter, but I just think this is a solid card to play in your deck. Just on curve. You just get almost 5 power and 5 toughness worth of stats with this card. Now, Gallicat is actually a card that I really do like. I think it can actually have a home in red-white with a bunch of the equipment, but of course this is mostly a blue-white artifact payoff card, but I don't think that's where we want to be here. So given that I don't think Gallicat's going to be good, I'm just going to take Call the Mountain Chocobo. This is exactly the type of card that you want in your red-green landfall decks. Gives you a lot of stuff to do with your mana, keeps your land flow going. So maybe this is an indication that we can move into red-green, although, like I said before, not seeing a ton of red outside of that. Moving on to pack 1, pick 9. Random encounter. Shuffle your library, mill 4 cards, put each creature card mill this way into the battlefield. They gain haste at the beginning of the next... Okay. LSV said he kind of thinks this card is cool. I don't care about Iceflawn or the item shopkeep. And I know there's a red-white land, but sure. I'll take a random encounter, and we'll see if maybe it makes its way into the deck. So here we have Red Mage's Rapier, 2 mana for a 1/1. If I play a spell, it seems okay, but I'm actually just going to take this town with cycling. I think there is a chance I could use the mana fixing from this card and have it do some work. There's also some ways to individually search for towns, and maybe this kind of filter is what I want. Here we have a Lunatic Pandora and a World Map. I guess I'll take a world map for more mana fixing as well, although don't love it here. So we have an okay base here, although would love to be able to table some more cards, but we're not seeing a whole lot here. Yeah, like I don't really know where I'm supposed to be here, just in terms of obviously open colors, but this is where we are. All right, what does Edgar do? King of Figaro, 6 mana, 4/5. ETB, draw a card for each artifact you control. Okay, so sadly, that's not where we're at. Good inner removal spell in Sephiroth's Intervention. There's Call the Mountain Chocobo, which is pretty good, although I don't love first picking this card. Lionheart is a decent equipment. It just deals 2 damage to something, and then it's pretty cheap to equip onto something. There's also Zach Fair, if I do want to be in white, but I didn't see a ton of good late white either. So I'm not even sure if white is where I want to be. So this is kind of tricky. I actually think I'm going to take Lionheart out of this pack. I think Zach Fair and Call the Chocobo, I mean, it's possible it could be a little bit better, But because I don't know if I'm going to be red or white, and white kind of, I only saw like a couple of white cards. Let's take the card that's definitely going to make our deck here in the Lionheart, and then just kind of see what's available. Oh, do you remember my quad Magitech infantry deck? That was sweet. All right, here we have Thunder Magic versus the Gubu Gardener, and I think I'm just going to take Thunder Magic. I do like the Gardener a decent amount too, but I think the Magic is a premium removal spell, just good at all points in the game. So let's take that. I already have a mana ramp card, and I have something that gets me a mountain. I wonder if Airship Crash is main deckable in this format. There's a lot of equipment, although killing a Job Select card isn't that exciting because they still have a 1/1 left over. So I'm not sure how much I love something like an Airship Crash. All right, moving on to Pack 2, Pick 3, we have... excuse me, I call this Ed Sheeran. Apparently this is Elton John. But 2 mana for 1/3, lands you control enter untapped. It's not really playable in Limited, though. All right, what do we have for red or green? We have a Bard's Bow, which is a fine 3 mana play. Gives you something to do in the late game. And then there's also Eden, Seat of the Sanctum. You know, honestly, we were a little bit short and playable, so I'm just going to take something just for my mana curve. I wonder if Prish's Wanderings is any good. I do have a town to search up, but I'm just going to take a 3 mana equipment 3/3. I don't love this, but I think the Wanderings I'm probably going to get for free later. So let's just take a 3 mana 3/3 with Reach and just go about our day. All right, moving on to Pack 2, Pick 4. Self-Destructed. This is just an overglor. This is just a fling, basically. It's not something that you really want to play that much in Limited. Sleep Magic is a premium removal spell. I mean, it's probably even worthy of a splash, but there's a really good option here. A couple of options, actually. There's Grand Pulse Ochu, which is a 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch, which you're almost always fine playing. But then if you're black-green and have a lot of self-mill, it gets even better. And it works really well with cards like Chocobo Kick. But for me, I think I'm taking the Rexar. This is the best of the basic land cyclers. It's just absolutely huge and gets you lands. So I think I'm going to take that here. All right, well, Pack 2 Pick... Oh, man, look at all these blue-green cards. Well, you know, we didn't see a ton of blue. I guess we saw a Sahagin and a Syncopate. But Ultros and Ignis Scientia are both incredible. I think Ultros is better. This one gets you a land, but this one is just absolutely obnoxious. Obnoxious is in the name. But if you're blue-red, this card's absurd. Ice Magic is also quite strong. But of course, we're happy enough this just taking a Chocobo Kick for our deck. All right, moving on to Pack 2, Pick 6. Man, blue-red is wide open. There is a Sleep Magic here. There is a Loporit Scout, but I don't love this card. It's pretty mediocre. Whenever another creature you control enters, this gets +1/+1 until next turn. There's also a Blazing Bomb. I don't know, like, does red-green splash a lot? Like, this pack is just really, really weak. There's nothing that's great in red or green that I like. I'm just going to take Sleep Magic in case I have the ability to splash. And if I do, then I think this is a totally fine splash card. This is a Wall of Omens, which is a totally fine card. But I'm going to take Town Greeter. This is actually not looking that bad here. It's a human to go with Torgal. It's a 2-drop. And I have Kaldi Mountain Chocobo and the Geisal Greens as flashback cards. So I think you can't really ever go wrong playing Town Greeter in basically any deck. So let's go ahead and take that. Here we have a really good green-white card, but of course we can't take it in Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. You know, I don't mind taking Blitzball Shot, especially in like a green-white deck or a green-red deck. This is just a nice combat trick, especially if you're looking to curve out. Although, noting that we do need more creatures to curve out with, but I do think it's probably better than Blitzball. But hey, Blitzball, remember how good the Globe was in the previous format? I mean, I can see a world where the Blitzball actually ends up being good. Wow, Realm Sketching, Combat Tutorial, Zach, all tabled. But I think I'm just going to stay the course here. I think this is just going to be a 6/6 a lot. And I just need to make sure that I have enough playables. And that's a late Zach fair, but we really didn't see a ton of other white. So I think this is just kind of where we're at. And yeah, like I said, red is really, really not available. But I just think at this point, it's a little bit too hard to pivot out of it. Blazing Bomb. Am I ever playing this card? Probably not, right? I guess I'll take Slash of Light in case there's a world where I end up taking these white cards. But Yeah, it's all right. I'll take Guado Salam. I do have a sleep magic, Galicat. Okay, so white was like kind of open. What is this? Kefka, oh, it's Perforos. 4 mana for a 6/5. My devotion to red is never going to actually work, so I don't think I want this card. I'm just going to be looking for other red or green cards. What does Cecil do? 1 mana for a 2/3 Death Touch. When it deals damage, you lose that much life. Okay, well, it's black, so probably can't really take it. Freya Crescent, I think, is really good in red-white, but I think it's much less good in red-green. So pretty underwhelming here for us specifically. There's an ice magic here as well. I think we're just taking another town greeter here. Not the happiest about this, but we are trying to do the landfall thing here. So let's take the town greeter and see where this goes. Ooh, ooh, wow. And this pack, I want the whole pack. Samurai's Katana is an incredible aggressive card. Vanilli, when it enters, mill 2 cards and return a permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Which is awesome. And then what does Rydia do? 2 mana for a 1/2. When this enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Return target Saga card with mana value X from the graveyard. Okay, I only have 1 Saga, so I think Rydia is actually worse than Vanilli, especially because I already have 2 Town Greeters, and I have lots of permanents, so this is basically just 3 mana for a 3/2 get something back, and I do think that's better than the other uncommons here, so let's take that. Oh, it's 4 mana. Sorry, I thought it was 3 mana. Yeah, I still think it's probably the pick. I still think this card's really good. All right, what is this? Oh, Counterspell? Nice. That is straight up Counterspell, which we're not going to take. Haste Magic. I don't like Haste Magic when I have a bunch of 6-drops in my deck, so I don't think this is the right deck for that. There's Mycetian Elder. 3 mana for a 1/3. Just seems okay. What does Tifa's Limit Break do? It's like a combat trick. All right, I'll try the Limit Break as another combat trick. I want to see how it plays out. All right, moving on here to pack 3, pick 4. What do we have? Some people say this card is really good. Should I try this? Crystal's Chosen. Up until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to its power up to another target creature. I mean, there's just nothing. I'm just getting really cut off here. And red is just generally not very deep. Why don't I just take this card? And we'll see where this ends up. Because there's a Zac Fair. I don't think I have enough artifacts for Galicats. There's a Magitech Armor, but I'll just take it for the upside and see where this goes. Here, there's Barret Wallace, but I don't really have equipment, so I don't really care too much about that. So let's just take another Fat Chocobo here and see where this goes. Okay, there's another Crystal's Chosen. Now, like I said, this is awkward in most white decks because typically most white decks are looking to be very, very aggressive. But I wonder if in this deck I want another... Well, you know what? Actually, I should probably just take the Grand Pulse Ochu. I need more cheap things to play, and I have double Chocobo Kick. And so this actually seems perfect in this deck. Also, I have multiple ways to mill myself, which makes the 8 mana ability more attractive as well. Another T-Rexar, which I do like. Late Ice Magic, which is a really good interactive spell, but let's just take Rexar here. So plenty of things to do in the late game here for us. A Dragoon's Wyvern should never be in the pack this late, along with Hectize. Yeah, I mean, what am I doing here? I'm just like green. Do I take Slash of Light? Do I take Dragoon's Wyvern? Is it too late to be blue? I think so. Yeah, this is rough. I saw the Gladiolus and I don't know what I was thinking, but honestly, it's very clear that this is just not the color that we were supposed to be. Green was totally fine to be, but I think like blue-green would have been better. Like, what is happening here? Just nobody is in blue? Brainstorm's not particularly good. Did people avoid blue late? Like, what happened? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm going to look at all my green cards here and see, like, you know, I feel like no matter what I do, I'm either going to splash blue for some interaction or splash red for the Gladiolus and the Thunder Magic. Although let me look at the let me look at Thunder Magic. Okay, yeah, so you can pay colorless mana, so that's good. All right. Well, look, I'm posting basically all my drafts. Not all of them can go perfectly, and this is certainly an example of a draft that did not go perfectly because I just kind of wanted to do the red-green thing, and it obviously just didn't end up paying off here, just because red was just extremely not open. All right, let's yeah, I mean, I don't what's even better here, my red or my blue cards? I guess I mean, they're both pretty mediocre here. You know, let's just see if we can just put together just a straight 2-color deck. I'm not even sure if I have enough playables here, but I don't know that there's enough upside on the splash. So let's just play like whatever we can here. I want to try this card. I do have a couple of town greeters. I do have some expensive cards. So random encounter. We'll see how this plays out. And then let's try main decking this. I mean, we're in the exploratory phase. So why don't we try main decking Airship Crash and see if that ends up being pretty good. And then I don't think I wanted Pandora or the world map here. Now we are playing 17 lands. I wonder if that's too many with double Town Greeter and Torgal and double BalMT Rexar. But what do I even have that I want to play out of my sideboard, right? Man, I am playing some stink. You know what? I changed my mind again. I'm going to play the blue cards here. I don't think I still want world map here. It's just I have so few red cards. I just don't need to play that many mountains. So like if we go 2 islands, that's 4 blue sources plus a Torgal. So that's 5 blue sources, which is pretty good. We can maybe cut this. 7, 14, 15, 16 lands. This feels like a 16 land deck as well. And yeah, I mean, look at our color situation. 8 green sources, but we have double BalMT Rexar as well. I think I still feel better playing one more forest here and cutting either a mountain or an island. All right, let's just play 1 island. So 1, 2, 3 blue sources and a Torgal is 4. Every now and then Town Greeter will get us a blue source as well. So, you know, I think that should be good enough here. And 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't love the low pro scout as well, but I'm just going to try it out here. And let's try this. Teamer, medium beats. We'll see how this goes. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. Access to the Patreon will give you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to up your limited game and join an awesome community of like-minded individuals also looking to up their game. This hand is quite bad. I just can't play anything at all. I'm glad I only play the 1 island. Even with the mountain, I might mulligan this. But let's mulligan. Let's keep this. This hand is also not great, but let's bottom the Blitzball shot here. Blazing Bomb. Okay. Our hand is a little bit mana heavy. But like I said, we have 16 lands, and we have 2 land cyclers, and we have 2 town greeters and a Torgal, so. Probably going to get at least 1 forest here with the BalMT Rexar. So Blazing Bomb gets bigger whenever they play a 4-mana spell. Adventurer's Airship, okay. What is this? Crew cost of 2, sure. Ooh, Town Greeter, that's a good one. So let's play the forest here to keep up Thunder Magic. Got the forest. All right, so now at least like we have the mana to play all of our expensive things. Let's see what they have. I don't think the airship is generally very good. Cornered by black mages. That I think is pretty good. in general, but, you know, we'll see. All right, I guess I'll run out of Lionheart here. Kill the bomb. Wait, what happens if I deal 2 damage to this? If it's not a creature, it doesn't die, right? Well, this is unfortunate. Why is this attacking? I wish there was a way for me to punish my opponent for doing that, but I don't think there is. Alright, so we're taking some damage here. We have... Ooh, Torgal. Yeah, I actually like that. So let's go Torgal. Let's go Chocobo Kick on Black Waltz number 3. And then keep up Thunder Magic for the airship. Sabo Tender. They got some pinging shenanigans here. All right. 2 cards left in hand for the opponent. And we have Town Greeter. Couple of decent options here. I can go Town Greeter into Chocobo. Kind of like that. Because it also enters as a 2/2. Oh, we got a tap land. So that is not ideal. So now we want to... See, they have 2 cards. All right. I think this is fine. I'm happy trying to get my opponent's life total pretty low based on our hand, right? Like we have Bal-MT Rexar and Summon Fat Chocobo. So that's pretty good for us. Phantom Train, okay. I'm curious how good this card is, because you can't actually crit unless you sack something. But I can't attack with this right now. So they can sack this 0-1 though for the train. Alright, Bal-MT Rexar seems like the play here. And I know like there's like Landfall matters, but I think I'd rather just... Let's just make a big Rexar. Use our mana where we can. Okay. So that has Trample, and they're attacking me. Okay, we'll take it. Like, obviously they have something in their hand, right? So... Doesn't seem like blocking there is good. Alright, let's make a ginormously fat Chocobo. And here I don't need to play a land. A pleasingly plump summon. I love it. I love it. And next turn everything gets trampled, which is nice. Light of Judge. Oh, so they wanted to block this and kill the equipment, sure. So, again, this can't actually attack me unless they sack something. And I don't think whatever cards in their hand can kill me. Okay. So now what do? They're at 6 life. If they want to block, they have to do it before I attack. If I attack with everything, they are just dead. Now, I'm trying to envision other scenarios, like, what if they kill my Bal-MT Rexar? Like, that's obviously not great. If they kill my MT Rexar... Yeah, that's very annoying. They have one card. 3, 7, 8, 9. 6, 6. I actually think I'm gonna do the conservative thing here, and you can yell at me all you want. But I'm just gonna attack with MT Rexar. The way I see it is they have to like crew up the Phantom Train, sack this creature. They still take 2 trample, and then if they have nothing, I'm still okay. Oh, what? Oh, you can sack artifacts. Oh, well then I didn't have a lethal attack anyways. Okay. My bad. I misread this. I thought it was I thought you sack creatures as well. Anyways, we're gonna flashback the Geisel greens. And the next turn we're gonna have still a lethal attack. Play a land. These will be 3 power, and then this I'll equip the Lionheart. So even if they play 1 creature, they should still be dead. Look, I'm still learning how cards work, right? It's still early. Furion, okay. Just an equipment payoff. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a lot of lands, but I think we'll be okay. We'll see. All right. Just enough. Just enough with our Gruul deck, which isn't quite a Gruul deck. It's almost mono green. It's almost mono. Hey, look. I said I wanted to draft green, and we are about as green as it gets, right? So let's see how this goes. At least we got one. At least we got one. All right, opponent on the play. This is certainly a keep. I have 2 lands and a Town Greeter. I feel like you never mulligan that, especially if you can cast the Town Greeter. Tifa's Limit Break seems really good with the Fat Chocobo. Dwarven Castle Guard, okay. Let's play Town Greeter. Wow, we even hit a town and we gain 2 life. That is maximum value. And we need the blue too. We have the sleep magic in our hand. So easy block here. We got a land, they get a 1/1 basically. So both of our 2 mana cards generating some value here. We drew both of our blue cards. Can't play them though, so let's play the greens into Guadasalam. What do you do? +2/+2? Okay. Paladin Arms, okay. Which is... Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, everything gets haste. I mean, I'm on the defensive here. I gotta think. The problem is this ability still stays intact. All right, I'm going to keep up Tifa's Limit Break as my way to kill the Furion. Okay, we drew Gladiolus Amicitia. All right, what do I want to tap down? Man, I'm going to get destroyed by these equipment, but whatever. Basically, my plan here is to get a land, play Tifa's Limit Break, potentially. You know what? Maybe I should have done it a different way. What is happening here? Ash, what do you do? When this attacks, you get an artifact. Okay, that card's good, obviously. Okay. Ooh, fat chocobo. They have a couple of tokens. When this attacks, they get to put an equipment into their hand. I mean, as much as I want to play Stuck in Summoner Sanctum, like, I have a chocobo to block the Ash with. I know they can get some value, but this just lets me play to the board as well and potentially try to race my opponent. Although now equip costs are certainly cheaper. Oh, wow, with Weapons Vendor. That is amazing. With Paladin Arms, that's pretty sick. All right, so they get value here for sure. I mean, obviously I'm going to block here to minimize nonsense. Wow, they hit Samurai's Katana, sure. I mean, I'm at 13, I still have to block. Okay. Chocobo Kick was a nice one. Man, this... Ugh. The question is, like, what am I killing with Chocobo Kick? You know what I mean? Is it just Weapons Vendor? Probably. God, Fearing is good. These blue removal spells, when the not having the loses all abilities on the text is actually super relevant. All right, land here would be fantastic. Okay, that's a land. All right. All right, all right, all right. I assume I want to play Gladiolus. I'm at 10 life. I mean, alternatively, I can play Balamti Rexor, which is a giant trampler. I'm at 10 life. I should be fine with this. I don't know what land I want. Let's get a mountain, I guess. Okay, so let's attack with this, but not this. I don't really love this. Like, my creature tramples, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Alright, so we have 7 lands in play. Any land is obviously going to be fine here with this. I don't really want to land cycle a Balamti Rexar, though, but I do have large creatures in play. They have 3 cards in hand, but they have lots of equipment and stuff as well. Noting that my blue removal spells have at least let me survive. But we're in a situation where I can just start attacking, and now it's like land or spell. They're both good draws, right? Chocobo Kick would be a sick draw, because I can pick up a land too. Okay, so 3-2, and pass. Ooh, that is the land. That, in fact, is the land. Let's beat down. Yep. I think that's lethal. All right. Well, they had a somewhat scary start with red-white, but we got that landfall uncommon seems really nice. So our deck's certainly playing out much better than I anticipated, especially because, you know, like, sure, we didn't get a bunch of red cards and we had trouble finding our lane, but we still got a bunch of decent playable green cards. Still working. Well, this is a hand you don't ever want to see. Island, mountain, all green cards. Yeah, well, we'll mulligan. Look, I'm okay mulliganing here. Let's keep this and bottom the T-Rexar, I guess. All right, drew the blue-green land, so playing the tap land turn 1 is always nice. On the draw, this hand is certainly much less good. Town Greeter in a Golgari deck is quite strong. Yeah. Woo! They're cooking. I like it. So they're a Sultai Towns deck, it looks like. Which might be a tough matchup for me, especially when I'm on the draw. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, so no more lands, please. Low Porret Scout. This is nice with Summon Fat Chocobo, I guess. Alright, so they land cycled. Their hand must be full of big things because they already have a forest in their hand. So yeah, next turn is actually pretty crucial here. Like, if I can't draw anything to play, it's going to be kind of a problem. And we drew another Summon Fat Chocobo, so that was not ideal. The thing is, the thing that we bottomed was a Balam T-Rexar, so it's not like we were going to win with this regardless. But at least we have Chocobo. Like, I'm hoping Fat Chocobo into Fat Chocobo gets it done. We'll see. Because it looks like they have a very slow hand. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they play another Balam T-Rexar here to completely stabilize the board. God, remember all those ice magics I passed? Yeah, I should have been blue-green, I guess. I should have been anything but red-green. But you live and you learn. Marlborough. What does this do? When this enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. Okay. What did they get? Sleep Magic and a Rexar. Okay. I guess that card's okay. Well, let's play Fat Chocobo. Hit for 5. Okay. I mean, we are just trying to run them over here. Chocobo down. They might have a removal spot. I mean, you know their deck is way sweeter than ours. So we'll see what they play. Omega! Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, well, let's see. Double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. 3. So it turns them into 6 power things. For 7 mana, it does the triple. But I want the landfall trigger. That's really interesting. Like, playing this land or not playing this land. But I'm going to go with not playing the land. Because I want to trigger triple landfall for 3 +1/+0 effects. I'm hoping that's... Oh, okay, well, they played Zeno. They played Xenos. Good beats. Town Greeter, yeah. Alright, so they drafted a sweet one. Like a Sultai Towns deck, and obviously, obviously playing one of the best rares in the entire set to kill my Chocobo will get it done. So if this dies, it's really bad for me, I think. That's how that works. Oh, and it will die. That's the problem. Yeah, probably not going to beat Xenos and just in opposing 8/8 creature. That's actually kind of gross. Like targeting a Saga creature with Xenos. All right. I can't win. All right, fair enough. Okay. You know, Sultai mid-range seems pretty good. Might be something that I'm interested in doing. Let's keep going, though. All right. Opponent on the play. We have this. Okay, we have all of our colors, at least, and a turn to Geisel Greens. Our opponent is on Esper. I mean, is this really a format where just, like, everybody should be 3 colors? Like, I don't think that that's the case, but maybe. Because I'm seeing it, certainly. Magic Pot. Really? When this dies, exile creature token. Okay. I don't really want to kill it, though. I mean, putting it to sleep doesn't seem terrible, but my deck is the type of deck that really does want to push through damage. All right, whatever. It's 1 mana. Let's put it to sleep. Like, with my hand, I am just trying to race my opponent for the most part with, like, summon fat chocobos and blitzball shots. Gaelic Cat. Okay, it is a 3/3. And Cecil. Cecil is a good one. Whenever this deals damage, you lose that much. I mean, it's just a 2/3 Death Toucher, which is quite good. So let's Chocobo kick the Cecil. Actually, hold on. What does this do? If your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total. All right. Like, they're actually doing a pretty good job of racing me, but I just feel like this is my only option here, given my hand. So they're a blue-white deck splashing Cecil? Oh, and whatever this card is, Gobels. Okay, world map. What do you do? Surveil. They have 3 artifacts? Okay. All right. All right, we have summoned a fat chocobo. Will it be good enough? Time will tell. My guess is no, but we'll see. Okay, well that's actually good in the sense that like instead of adding to the board or killing one of my things, they played this card draw spell, which is a good card draw spell. But hopefully I can punish them with a very, very good attack next turn. Let's put the ice magic on the bottom. Let's put the Crossword Village on the... I mean, they have all the colors they need. Let's just give them a tap land, I guess. If I draw like a removal spell or something here, that's going to be really nice. They're 13. Okay, that's a Call the Mountain Chocobo. What does Golbez do? So, do I want to just clear the entire board here with Blitzball Shot? All right, they're at 6. Let's call more Mountain Chocobos, get a land. This Gallicat is doing so much damage. And I don't think I have enough here. We'll see. They're at 6 life. Gallicat is a good blocker. I don't know if I should have been attacking with my Town Greeter. Maybe I should have. Okay. Magitech Armor into Monk's Fist. Yeah. Huh. Okay, let's attack with the Chocobo. And let's just attack with all the Chocobos. Yeah, I mean, this deck is definitely missing a lot, I'm gonna say. Like, it's just not quite good enough, I don't think. But we'll see how this goes. So, man, the Town Greeter would have been blocked, but yeah, they have the Gallicat here. And now they can just equip everything onto the Gallicat, and then I die. So I'm going to play the low power red Scout and keep up mana. And see what they do. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That is good. All right, you know what? Based on what I've seen, I'm going to at least make one adjustment here and main deck that Plummet cycling card. Maybe it's actually better than I give it credit for, and replace it with like literally anything. My deck's just like really lacking interaction. I bet this card is just bad. So I think I'm just going to cut this card. And then we'll try something like this. All right, on the play here, Nothing cheap to play, but I have all my colors, so I feel like I should keep this. We have 2 4-drops, 3 4-drops. Okay. Prompto Argentum. Okay. Well, Lionheart. Well, I don't have anything to play, so I guess I'll put this to sleep. Not ideal, given kind of how this hand started, but like I would have loved to use Lionheart on this, but I just don't want to fall behind. Like if I draw a land, I'm just gonna be playing something every single turn. Van Street Thief. What do you do? Whenever one or more scouts, rogues, and pirates... Okay. Okay. Land! Untap land! Yes! Okay. That is a perfect card to target with Lionheart, so let's do that. And then next turn we can go like Call the Mountain Chocobo just to make sure we don't miss a land drop. The issue now is Prompto Argentum will still give them treasures if they just keep playing big spells here, right? Alright, there's the Emperor of Palamisia. Another good target. They have a lot of good creatures. But I don't want to miss any land drops, so let's play this. Syncopate would be annoying. Alright, well they had Syncopate. It's okay though. Wow, that's actually really good because this has Flashback and it exiled. Alright, fair enough. Combat Tutorial, okay. Very good. Into another Prompto Argentum. Well, it's legendary, so they'll lose that one, but we're taking a good chunk of damage here. A land would be pretty good. Let's play the Toad. Untap land would have been ideal, because if I had drew untap land, I can play Vanilla, and then get back Sleep Magic, and then play the Sleep Magic. Okay, Sahagin into... Like, a 4-mana spell to kill the Gigantoad here would be huge. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And now we're going to take 6 damage. And oof. Oof is all I got. Let's play Vanilla. Almost certainly going to take Sleep Magic back. These are both very good. They have 1 card. Ay, ay, ay. Let's keep this land just in case. 1 card left in hand for the opponent. Sahagin attacks. Okay, we can go Bard Bow. And equip Vanilla, I don't know. Do I want to attack? I don't think so. The problem is this is like a ticking time bomb. Like, okay, well, I'm glad I got to prevent them from actually attacking me here. Let's cycle this. I'm glad that I kept that in my hand, too. Chocobo Kick. That is definitely good. Okay. Keep the land in my hand. Blazing Bomb, all right. Okay, another land. I'm just putting them on a 2-turn clock here, which is why I'm doing this, especially with Blitzball Shot. If they have some kind of combat trick or haste creature, we die. But if not, maybe we have a shot of winning this. Okay. Oh, they get to flash it back too? Oh, that's brutal. Oh, then I'm dead. Oh my gosh. They needed to play a spell, a 4-mana spell that they could flash back. Because I was going for the win here. Wow. Oh, that's insane. Like, obviously a combat trick or a haste creature would have done it too. But, like, you have to understand that given that I drew the land there, I wanted to put myself in a position to win the game. And so I just thought, if they play one 4-mana spell, I'm okay, I go to 1. But if they play something with flashback, well, that's a problem. And yeah, there you have it. Well, you know, not the ideal way that you want to start the format, I will say, but it's like we have plenty more drafts to do and a lot more to learn. And what did we learn from this? Because this was a poor start. Absolutely a poor start. But what did I learn? Well, my green cards were certainly fine. Like the Chocobo kicks and all that stuff were totally fine. I will say I don't know that I'm necessarily convinced on just like the strategy of playing a bunch of cards that make Chocobos and then boom, I make a 3/2. Like, I don't know if that's interesting enough or powerful enough, right? Whereas a lot of the like Fat Chocobo is fine just because it just puts 6 power and 6 toughness on the battlefield. So this isn't a terrible card to ramp into. That being said, this card is still just a fine card, right? Just because you get to flash it back in the late game, but it's so weak when you flash it back. It's like, this is just a fine card. You don't need to take this card very highly. Chocobo Kick was very impressive. Just a really, really good removal effect. There seems to be lots of targets for Lionheart, and the 2 mana to equip is totally fine. And honestly, the biggest mistake that I made in this draft, like I think green is totally fine and very deep, was just me thinking of going into red-green Landfall immediately just because I wasn't there before. And I feel like had I ended up drafting a blue-green deck, maybe splashing red for Thunder Magic and Gladiolus, I missed out on a lot of really powerful blue spells. I think that would have gone much further than me just looking to just draft like a Gruul Stompy deck when red clearly wasn't open. Here's the issue too. Red is not the deepest color. So like, there's Thunder Magic and Suplex, and then it falls off a cliff after that. So if red is contested in any way, then you're going to have a tough time just because just the red commons aren't particularly deep. And that's just kind of what happened here. I know the mistake that I made, and we will make those adjustments moving forward. And, you know, I still think like green certainly seems very deep, and red can be good paired with green. But of course, you're going to need to get some of the decent red cards. The thing is, a lot of the red commons just don't even work in red-green. Like, there's a bunch of equipment cards that you don't care about. You just really want the removal spells and Call the Mountain Chocobo, I think. There's a 5-mana removal spell. So maybe red-green just isn't quite as powerful a color combination as green paired with a lot of other stuff. For example, I think black-green is good. I think blue-green with enough interaction and potentially splashing a third color for interaction can also work. And also not necessarily sold on white-green. Just green is more mid-rangey. Like, green's best common or one of green's best common is Town Greeter. And then all of a sudden, if you put that in like a white-green deck, it's just not going to be as good just because the strategies don't line up as well because white and red tend to be a little more aggressive. And so those might not be as good. But of course, this is just draft number 1, my first time drafting green. I'll have to continue drafting this to see what happens. But you know what? It's okay. It was still my first draft of the format once the release happened. 2 and 3 is not an ideal result, but I still feel like I learned a lot. And the important thing early on in a format is learning from your mistakes and just learning as much as you can because you just want to be the first one to make all the adaptations before everybody else so that you can continue just climbing really quickly and you know, just try to do as well as you can in this format. And that's kind of what I'll take out of this draft. And hopefully tomorrow we will have a nice trophy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Also check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need to buy some booster boxes of Final Fantasy or some singles for your standard, modern, pioneer, or commander decks, go to tcgplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before before making any purchases. Also, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.